preaching up in here. I need y'all to look at somebody, help me preaching in here, and lean on your neighbor. Come on, lean on them and look at them like black folks do when they mean what they say. And tell anybody, I know it's been hard for you. I know it's been tough for you. But tell them if you hold on, tell them the blessings of God are on the way. Tell them the promise that God spoke is on the way. Get ready, ready or not, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Now shout glory, shout glory. I just need to tell you this, then I'm gonna leave you. I just need to tell you that the Bible says in the 37th division of Psalms, he said, I have been old, young, and now I'm old, but yet there's one thing that I have not seen. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. Lean on your neighbor, tell him you coming out as pure gold. You won't be affected by the economy, because the righteous shall prevail. There's one thing I've never seen happen to the righteous. The word forsaken means that abandonment. I've never seen God abandon the righteous. I mean, Daniel was in the lion's den, but Jesus did not abandon them. The Hebrew boys, they were in the furnace, but Jesus, the Logos, showed up in the furnace as the fourth man. Touch your neighbor, tell him, neighbor, don't expect God to abandon you, but tell him you're going to be all right. I've seen the righteous without money, but I've never seen them abandoned. I've seen the righteous broke, but not abandoned. I've seen them in foreclosure, but not abandoned. I've seen them file for bankruptcy, but not abandoned. They hit the divorce courts, but they're never abandoned. I've seen them sick in the hospital, but never abandoned. I've seen them abused and mistreated, but never abandoned. Touch somebody and tell them, neighbor, don't expect for God not to do it, because tell them you get what you expect. What do you expect in the next 7 days? What do you expect by this time tomorrow? What do you expect by this time next year? Tell your neighbor, I expect to be on top. I expect for greatness. I expect deliverance. Somebody single. I expect to be married. I expect for my bills to be paid. You get what you expect. Tell your neighbor, you get what you expect. Now declare 3 things that you expect by next year this time. Come on, testify it. Tell them these are the 3 things I decree and declare. Come on, Pastor Kelly, Pastor Steve, declare 3 things that you expect by this time next year. Now, if you know God's going to answer, give him a shout of praise. you say? Come on, tell them, take the limits off. In 2 Kings, chapter number 4, there was a widow that had some sons. She was the wife of a prophet. She was broke, and the debt collectors came to collect her son as payment for the debt she owed. But she had an encounter with Elijah, and Elijah said, go and borrow vessels of oil. Go ahead and borrow many vessels. She knocked on neighbors' doors and borrowed vessels, and the more vessels that came, the Bible says the oil kept flowing. But when she got down to her last vessel, the Bible says that the oil stayed. In other words, God didn't run out of oil. She ran out of vessels. I want to tell you that the more the oil flowed, the more the vessels got filled. But when the last vessel got filled, the oil was suspended. I want to ask you a question. Could it be that you believe God till a certain point, and when you stop believing, your blessings got suspended? They hang around over your head, but you can't get them yet until you get larger, until you get broader, until you get deeper. Lift up your hands, all ye gates, be ye lifted up, the everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord, strong and mighty. The Lord, mighty in battle. Take a neighbor, take the limits off. Up above my head, there's a breakthrough. There are miracles. When I release the suspension over your life, pull it down and say, God, if there's anything that stopped me from my breakthrough, right now, I'm a living. My cords strengthen my stakes, because overflow, superabundance is on the way. Shout overflow. And I'm living in the overflow. I'm living in the overflow. Tell 5 people, get in the overflow and start living in the overflow. Start living based on what he said and not what you see. Start living based on what he spoke and not what you hear. I want to tell you that God is going to do it for those that believe.